Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us at Unity Live Radio.
Thank you.
Great. So, you're a local artist.
Yeah, that means, I live in Reading and I'm a performing artist. I sing and act. I don't dance.
You don't dance?
I can't dance.
Oh, yeah. But I hear you've been doing great things.
Well, I don't know. I suppose I'm living my dream. It's what I've always wanted to do. From the age of 4, I've been singing. And at the age of 30, when my son was old enough, I went and done a degree in performing arts. So
Right,
I've done exactly what I wanted to do, yeah.
Okay. So, what are you currently doing at the moment?
What am I doing at the moment? I've just literally completed my album, which are songs that I've written myself from April to September last year, recording with a guy called Ricky Greaves. And we kind of worked all through the summer. And a couple of the songs we co-wrote, but the majority of them are mine. And we've put them together. It's a funky kind of album, but it's got gospel, it's got lovers rock, it's got kind of samba, Cuban-y kind of mix, lots of different mixes.
Cuban-y, samba?
Yeah,
why did you choose that?
That all came about from a song that I'd written called Smile. And I wanted to do a remix on it, so I kind of changed it around a bit, but what happened, it kind of goes through a lot of different styles before the song starts. So my sister does salsa dancing, and it wouldn't be out of place in a salsa dance, but it's also got the Cuban, Brazilian, reggae. It's got a nice mix. It's different. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Fun.
So when you know this new album, what inspired you?
What inspired me?
Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to do my own album. One of my goals, my all-time goals, when you're little and you want to do something, what do you want to do when you're older? I always said, like, back in the day when I was younger, I always wanted to have my name on a record.
Right.
But now it's not a record, it's a CD. So I achieved that. I wrote a song, with a guy called Lindell Lewis, who's Judy Boucher's producer.
All right.
You know Judy Boucher?
No, who's Judy Boucher?
She, back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, she, there's a number one song, I think it was I Can't Be With You Tonight,
Right.
but she's done a whole album, lots of albums, and she's performing in her own right, but she worked with a guy called Lindell Lewis, who produced all her kind of albums.
Right.
And I was singing at Reading Carnival one year, and there was a guy in the crowd, and he said he liked my voice, and he's a songwriter, and he had some songs that he'd like me to sing for him.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, me. So he took me off to London, and me and my sister actually went and recorded The Door Is Closed, which was one of his songs.
Right.
I hadn't really started writing then, because I didn't realise that I could write, if you know what I mean. I didn't realise that...
What do you mean you didn't realise?
Because I'd always written poetry. Poetry is something that, I've written a poetry book, and I'm always writing things. But I didn't realise that I could write song. I just thought it was just miles away from anything. So after, when Wesley, it was Wesley Salmon that had written The Door Is Closed.
Right.
When he first gave me the lyrics, I listened to it and I thought, the song, how he sung it, how he gave me the demo,
Right.
to how it was finally recorded is different. But it's me that made the difference, because
Okay.
I just found the melody for it that sat a bit, nicer in how he'd given it to me. So we went to the studio and we recorded it. It was the first time in the studio, like a professional studio.
Right.
I'd mucked about in people's bedrooms, on their recording stuff. Alright? Yeah, done recording in people's bedrooms and so forth.
Right.
And then after, he'd taken me, and I got to, it's the first time in a professional studio, so I'm in the booth, and he set it all up, and he said, right, I'm going to let you listen to the track. I said, okay then, and he just, let's do a run through. I said, okay, so we done the run through, and then, so I sang it through, and then, even in the song now, as it's recorded, I'm going, I'm humming in the middle bit, which I wasn't supposed to, but because I thought it was just a run through, I was just so relaxed and just sang it through. And then when we'd finished, when I said, okay, can we go for the real one? The track had finished, and said, okay, let's go for the real one. He said, no, you just done it. I said, no, I didn't. And he said, no, you have. And I said, he said, that's it, we finished. I said, what do you mean we finished? I said, no, that was just a practice. And he said, no. If I told you that we were going to record it for real, you would have tried to make it as good as you can. But what you've done is perfect, and we don't need to change it. And if it doesn't need changing, then don't fix it. I'm like, oh. So then, anyway, he said, right, on to the harmonies. I'm like, but we've got to revoice. He said, no, it doesn't need revoicing, leave it as it is. And then he said, you've got to do the harmonies. I said, who, me? Do the harmonies? I can't do harmonies. So that was a big wake-up call. And after I had to do the harmonies. Wesley took me to the studio and said, yeah, don't worry, someone's going to come and do your harmonies. I said, okay then. So we done the harmony. No, we didn't do the harmonies. I said, I'm not doing the harmonies. I can't do harmonies. And at the time I hadn't, because with singing, you tend to, if you're the lead singer, you listen to the lead singer's part.
Right.
You don't always listen to the harmonies. And there's an art in harmonising. So when you see backing singers, it's really hard for backings, not really hard, but it's an art in itself for backing singers to harmonise against the lead singer, because when you hear a song, you go for the lead song, you go for the lead, the lead line.
Right.
To harmonise against that is quite an art. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't harmonise. So anyway, after I had to harmonise, he said, well, I haven't got anyone to do it, and you're going to have to do it. I'm like, okay. So I listened back to it a few times and put some harmonies on there. And listening back now, I mean, this is over 10 or so years ago. Listening back now, I hear now where I could have done better, but it was the first time I actually harmonised. So I said, Wesley, Lindell, tell me seriously what you think. And he's as true as he is. He goes, well, you've got a good voice for lead. He says, but your harmonies you need to brush up on. I'm like, thank you. So after that now, because I usually know the lead line in a song,
right.
When I hear a song now, I just naturally harmonise against it, which helps me, practice my harmonies in case I'm ever in that situation again,
right.
where I have to sing. So, I sing in a choir, Reading Community Gospel Choir as well. So that helps as well, because I sing with the tenors in that, whereas I could do the altos or the soprano, because my range is like a 3 to 4 octave range.
Right.
So I can sing in any of the parts. So that helps again with the harmonising, because it's, you can sing any part on it. Although it's hard work doing the soprano, so I just go to the tenors because it's kind of the easiest one.
Okay. So, who have you worked with recently?
Who have I worked with recently? Well, from beyond the grave. Literally, Sugar Minor died last August, September, bless him.
Right.
And I was in Jamaica September to October. And the year before, I'd been in Jamaica and recorded some stuff. And the guy that was the engineer knows Jack Radix and, what's his name? Jack Radix and Bunny Wailer and Sugar Minor and people like that. So those kind of guys go and record at the studio that he's a great engineer. His name's Ice, and he's an engineer. But like
Ice is the engineer.
Ice, yeah. He used to be DJ Ice. He used to be Mr. Ice. Well, he's Mr. Ice now. He used to be DJ Ice, and he's like a sing J, but now he's more singing rather than DJ. But he's also a producer. So. But he's a sound engineer, and a lot of the guys want him because he's got a really clean, crisp sound. He can make things just sound amazing. So a lot of the guys like Jack Radix, and they'll call for him to work with them. He was going to work for Beres Hammond as well, but I don't know what happened, but he decided not to.
Right.
But he's a good engineer, really great engineer. So I'd met him the year before when I was doing some stuff over there. So last year when I went back, I was speaking to him throughout the year, and I said, I've got a couple of tracks that I want you to produce for me. So we've gone into the studio and started recording these tracks. And then he goes, Julie, I've got a couple of tracks that are the Sugar Minor unreleased stuff. And I'd like you to listen to them to see if you could do a song with them. Right. As in, like you have a compilation album, you've got a versions, rhythm track. So it's lots of different singers on the same rhythm track.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll have a listen, but I don't know, I think he had more faith in me than I did myself. But he said, no, I want you to listen and write some songs for me, a couple of songs, I'll give you the tracks. So he gave them to me on a Friday, and I said, yeah, I'll have a listen. So he just gave me the rhythm tracks, no songs on them or anything. And I said, okay, I'll have a listen. And when I went to the studio on the Friday, I listened, and I said, okay, and then I was back in on the Tuesday.
Right.
And on the Tuesday I recorded one of the songs, and he really liked it. And then on the Wednesday I went back, because I was in the studio 2.5 days. After I'd done all my stuff, I recorded this other track for him. And what they realised is that I'd done exactly the same hook line, every song's got a hook, as Sugar Minor.
Wow.
So, who had just passed away, and it was one of these tracks. So what they did, the manager of the studio came up and asked if they could do it as a duet with Sugar. So they put my lyrics against Sugar's lyrics, and now there's a duet. So that's going to come out soon. They're working on that, mixing it and mastering it. Soon it's coming out.
Wow, that will be good.
Yeah, and a Heroes Day in Jamaica last year, I was on the same stage as Bounty Killer and Movado and TKO and Jacure made a surprise entrance, and I just went up and said, excuse me, can I have the mic to sing a song, because I'm from England, and because the man was just dissing English people, and I said, you can't diss English people.
Right.
So I went up and just kind of sang it for the English, and went up, sang, and because it was National Heroes Day, I sang We Shall Overcome, a cappella, and then I sang my version of Lean On Him. Right, Lean On Me, but I've written a version called Lean On Him. Sang it a cappella, and everybody was just like cheering and going crazy, and I said, thanks, I didn't stop to talk to anyone. Thanks, bye. And just came off the stage.
Okay.
But I've done that at Berris. I went to watch Berris at Hammersmith. I love Berris, and whenever he comes, I like to go and watch him.
Right.
But I went to watch him at Hammersmith, and they had, well, their warm-up acts weren't very good, to say the least. And I was in the crowd with my cousins and my friend, and I said, just give me the mic. And they're like, what, you think you can sing? And I said, well, I'm not saying that, but just give me the mic and I'll sing. And I sang, and the crowd just went crazy. They were clicking, and the big spotlight came down on me. Do you know what I mean? And it was just crazy. But I'll sing wherever. It doesn't bother.
You don't care. You'll sing.
Give me a mic, I'm good.
Okay, brilliant. That's brilliant. So was there anybody else you worked with, or is it just purely was it just Sugar?
No, I mean Sugar from Beyond the Grave. But I mean, this week, literally, I'm just waiting for a callback. I'm going to record some stuff with a guy called Leroy, who's from the Congos. Back in the day, the harmony group, the Rasta Harmonies group, called the Congos. I got loads of albums out. And my friend who'd listened to some of my stuff, he's a distributor, has put me in touch with this guy Leroy. And I'm going down to London this week to do some duets with him, some old-time duets for an album that he's having coming out. And he is Gregory Isaacs, his double.
Really?
I went to watch Berris this year, and Gregory Isaacs was meant to be with him down in Bristol.
Right.
And Gregory didn't turn up due to illness. So they called in this guy, who's Leroy Jones, who sang for the Congos, and he was, God rest Gregory's soul, but he was better than how Gregory sounded in the past few years. He sounded how Gregory used to sound back in the day. So I was, and then when this guy phoned me and told me that that's who he was, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're actually the person that backs Berris Hammond. Berris is just my idol. I just love Berris and his sound. Also, saying that, Taurus Riley is coming up very, very close. I have been to Taurus Riley's concerts. I've seen him 2 or 3 times now, and I've got all his albums, and I just think he is brilliant. So it's gone from Frankie Paul to Berris, now to Taurus.
Yeah, you're impressed by Taurus Riley.
Taurus, oh gosh, he is just amazing. All of his songs are just so nice, and there's no badness, no slackness, no rudeness. It's just all beautiful, conscious stuff, and just life. And it's just so nice how he phrases things,
Okay.
So nice.
Right. So can you give me a little touch off of your album? There's a couple of bars here. Can you
touch off my album?
Yeah, just a little bit of touch, just some flavour.
Okay, there's one on there called Brothers and Sisters, and I wrote it as a whole song, and Ricky in his wisdom, when I wrote the song, when I sang the song to him as the guide track, it was it was written as a whole song, but he wanted to change it, and I didn't realise the power of it really until he just kind of separated it from the track, from the whole of the song.
Right.
And it's just, it's the beginning of a song I wrote called Brothers and Sisters. And I wrote it in church, and I first read it out as a poem at youth club, when I used to, do help with youth club down at this church. Right. I used to do drama with them, teach, write plays for them and take the kids through drama, give them drama classes and so forth. And we used to do like little plays and activities and so forth. So this is one, it's called Brothers and Sisters. And it goes... Life is too short to argue and fight. Too much time spent arguing what is right. Find your belief and believe what you will. Disrespect no one just because you feel that they are not the same as you. Or they have a different view. As long as you are God-fearing, your God will comfort you. Your God will comfort you.
Oh, wow. I'm feeling that myself. Yeah, hey.
Bit of a dry throat. Where's my drink? Yeah. But yeah, that's so that's just, and that's surprisingly, that's just on the album. That's just it, and then it goes into the rest of Brothers and Sisters. But I wouldn't have seen it if Ricky hadn't have, singled it out like that. So.
Okay. Are there any other songs there on your album that were quite meaningful to you?
I think the album at the moment is called I Forgot to Say I Love You.
Right.
And it was the first ever song that I'd written or recorded from writing as a poem. And it's in my poetry book. I've written it in my poetry book. And it was, it comes from, it was inspired from the victims of 911. So, when the Twin Towers went down.
Okay.
And I just had this dream. I mean, they went down in September. And in the October, I had a dream. I think it was 17th or something of October, halfway through October, I woke up one morning after a dream. And after having a dream of someone that, all I could see was a woman saying goodbye to her partner. Kids are running around, sunshine is coming through, she's washing up. See you later, have a good day, saying goodbye to her partner. Kids are running, bye daddy, bye, bye, bye. She's washing up, see you later. And then she hears on the news that the Twin Towers have gone up. And she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to say I love you. So, although she said, bye, see you, have a good day, she didn't tell him that she loved him. And that's the song I got from there. So yeah, that's and every time I hear that song, because it was played at my dad's funeral as well,
right,
it's quite poignant. It's and I sang it at my cousin's funeral that was shot by a police officer 3 times, point blank range. I physically recorded it so I could sing in it. It was in 2005. He was murdered in the November, and I went to Ricky's one morning and I said, Ricky, this poem that I have, I've got a melody for it. Can I get it recorded so I can take it to Jamaica to sing at my cousin's funeral? Because he was only 21 when he died. Point blank range, policeman shot him, and Ricky said, yeah. I went in there at 9 o'clock in the morning, came out at 11 with I Forgot to Say I Love You. And it was just an acoustic number, just me and the guitar, Ricky playing the guitar. And it was just amazing. So I recorded it so I could take it to sing in Jamaica for my cousin, not knowing that not even 3 months later it'd be played at my own dad's funeral. So yeah, 2005. Yeah.
Okay. So what inspired you to, be the person you are today?
I'd have to say my dad and my mum, I suppose. Being mixed race, I think being mixed race, and not let if there's I mean people say I'm really stubborn and I don't listen, and it's not that I don't listen, it's that I do what I want to do, and if someone tells me not to do something, that more spears me on as to wanting to do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not the rebel in me. It's not what I've realised. I mean, I said to a friend the other day, how comes we never, got together and, as partners? And he said, because you don't listen. He said, you don't listen. So what do you mean I don't listen? And,
You've got a rebellious spirit.
No, I told you it's not rebellious. It might stem back to rebellion. I don't know. But I do what I want to do. So if I want to do something, then I do it. And if someone tells me not to do something and I want to do it, I'll still do it. Only for them to turn around and say, see, I told you you shouldn't have done it. But that's fine, because I had to find out for myself. So at the end of the day, and the reason I do that is because I've listened to people in the past and gone against my gut. And it's all gone funny because I've not followed my gut. If my gut says, if I get this little heartbeat, and I know then I have to do something, I have to say something, I have to go somewhere, I follow my gut. If it doesn't feel right in my gut, I won't do it. And that's irrespective of someone saying do it or don't do it. If my gut says don't do it, I'm not going to do it. If my gut says do it, I'll do it. And that's irrespective of whether someone's told me to or not. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not that I'm a rebel.
So what, when you were inspired?
Yeah.
When you was inspired, how was you inspired by your mum and dad?
I think, my dad was a DJ back in the day. And he played every Sunday. He would be playing music all Sunday until he'd go and play dominoes. So we'd wake up Sunday morning, run up to Dad's bedroom while Mum is making breakfast. We'd play with my dad, and and then we'd all get up, and then my dad would play music while Mum was cooking dinner, and then he'd put on songs like Dr. Kitch and naughty songs. They're quite rude songs, but they're not. They're double entendre, like Shaving Cream and Dr. Kitch and Deacon's Wife. And my mum would say, exactly. But my mum would say, Shanty, turn them off, not in front of the kids. And my dad would go. Shanty, I told you not to play them songs in front of the kids. And and I'm glad. Well, my dad just played them, and we like that, like, oh, we're not meant to listen to these. But we didn't even understand them at that age. It's not till we got older that we saw, okay, double entendre, it's good songs, So, but my mum and my dad inspired me. My dad, music has been a part. I used to play the violin and the flute. Back in a day, I used to sing in the school choir, and a lady picked me up from the school choir and heard me in my violin lesson, and took me and gave me free operatic lessons. So I was trained with operatic exercises when I was about 10, which helped me to project my voice and use my voice in the way that I do. So that was really helpful. And what I used to do, instead of, because my dad had 5 of us at home, so he couldn't really afford for us to have all these sports and whatever that would cost money to go to. He's already playing for my violin. So but my voice teacher took me on. She trains. I mean, she goes to the Sydney Opera House. Miss Horniblow, her name is Annette. Annette Johnson, her name is, but I knew her as Miss Horniblow. And she was just amazing. And what happened, me and another girl called Stacey Stockwell, we used to go to her house on a Saturday morning, and we'd peel her vegetables. We'd go and pick them out of the garden and peel her vegetables, and she'd actually give us free lessons. That was how we helped her pay, do you know what I mean, for our lessons.
What
so
a fantastic teacher.
Oh my gosh, she was amazing. And not long ago I was, a few years now, I was auditioning for The Lion King. Rafiki. I got up to the 6th audition, and I'd gone to see Annette to help me go through the audition piece, because when you're auditioning, there's certain ways that you deliver a song and you breathe in and all that. And I'm quite lazy. I can't be bothered to figure it out myself. So I have a singing teacher called Juliet Caton, or I went to Annette because she sings at the Royal the Opera House in Sydney, you know, all of that. But this song, it was the beginning song to The Lion King, which is what they wanted me to audition for. So I went to her house and she went through it with me and so forth. And I got up to the 6th audition, and 2 years down the road, they're still phoning and asking me if I want to audition for it again, because you have to go through about 7 or 8 auditions before you get the part.
Right.
And then I thought, well, you know, I didn't do my degree in community theatre to go and do West End theatre, because it's completely different. West End theatre is like working in an office. It's monotonous. It's day in, day out. You're in London all day. You know, your stage call will be whatever time the day, and you're there till night. So I'd have to go and live in London.
Did you?
No, I would have to. If I'd got the part, I would have had to. And with my son, because I, you know, brought my son up, he's at university now, but I didn't want to, you know, not be there for when he was growing up, so I kind of sacrificed that to bring him up, you know, because I just had to get him through. And, you know, luckily now he's at university now, rather than waiting, you know, 10, 12 years like I did before I could get to university to do my degree. But he's doing his now, so
that's
I'm glad he's got a year and a half to go.
Okay. He is talented.
No, well, he says. I mean, years ago, I used to have my warm up tapes and CDs in the car, tapes in the car, and he'd be rehearsing with me. You know, we do our vocal exercises in the morning on the way to school, and so naturally he can sing. But I mean, he said something to me one day like, "Mum, I'll never be as good as you," and I said, "Well, Kieran, I at your age wasn't as good as me." You know, because it takes years of, you know, practice and what you get used to, and you go from level to level. You can't just expect to be as good as the person that is going to be training you, because that person has been doing it for years. It's what they do.
Right.
So, you know, but he is a natural singer. He's a natural performer, but he just doesn't see it. But he's doing a degree in marketing and publicity management. So
what would you tell somebody else who wants to be, you know, an artist or wants to go down that road?
I would say follow your heart. Do what you want to do. I mean, the reason why I didn't step straight into performing arts is because my dad, bless him, always said, "Julie, get a proper job." "Julie, you must get a proper job." And I'm like, yeah, but what is a proper job? And he thought medical secretary, office worker, a career in, do you know what I mean, in the office.
Right.
You know, something that is kind of more stable than performing arts. Because, I mean, since I graduated 5-6 years ago, to say that I haven't been in and out of performing plays, because I didn't do my degree to do that, but I work with community groups to create theatre. Do you see what I mean? So whether that's devising a piece from scratch, I've worked with little ones to create a play about them. So it's community theatre or political theatre or theatre that makes a change. Do you know what I mean? Not just theatre that you sit down and you watch and you think, yeah, okay, so predictable.
Right.
It's theatre that means something or can change something. Or, you know, I looked at Augusto Boal, who is a Brazilian practitioner, but he teaches, he educates people through theatre. Okay. So go to places where people don't understand the language, or if, you know, they'll use theatre to get messages across, to break the language barrier. So you might not understand what they're saying, but if you physically see someone showing you what to do, then you don't have to be told how to do it, because you're physically being shown how to do it. Right. So he creates theatre like that.
So anybody that wants to be a singer should do what? What do you think?
Anyone that wants to be a singer?
Yeah.
I don't know, just sing. I mean, I haven't really gone in for competitions and things like that. I did audition for X Factor, which was just awful, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it was just such a rip-off. I mean, I went for I shouldn't say that, sorry, Simon Cowell. But you go for the audition, and if you heard the amount of people that were just amazing singers, I mean, I sing, but I wouldn't say I'm like diva-ish, or do you know what I mean, by no means, but these people, when they were singing, you know, you just feel it, you know, coming through the audition rooms, and they'd come out and didn't get through, and yet you'd hear some scatty sounding people that are like, what was that? and they'll come out with a ticket because they've got through, because they've got a story to tell. And you know, two days of queuing, and I was just like, I just lost the soul, the will to live, I should say, because it was just. So yeah, I would say, follow your heart. Get into lots of community things. Always, you know, step forward to do, because people say, "Oh, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to do it." But at the same time, you've got to start somewhere, and people are not going to call on you to do things if you don't do it for free at first. Yeah. So don't not do something because you're not getting paid. You know, as a professional, I will still do things that I don't get paid for, because one, it might be for charity, or two, it might be. To help promote me. Right. Like at the moment I'm doing something with the Hairy Bikers. It's coming out in February.
Hairy Bikers?
The Hairy Bikers.
Who are they?
They're two white guys that go around on motorbikes around the country.
Right.
And you know, to be honest, I heard of them, but I might have watched one programme, or you know, I don't really watch TV, so to say that I'm, you know, but my son is just besotted by them. He just loves them. So I said, the BBC have phoned and asked if I could do an interview, you know, to see if they do a show with the Hairy Bikers. And my son said, "Mum, please tell me you've done it." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know." "Mum, no, you need to say yes." And that goes back to one day my agents phoned and told me that they had a great part for me in Van Helsing, you know, the film Van Helsing.
Right.
Well, I'd never heard of it.
Great part?
Yeah, well, I was only as an extra, but I was going to be sat in the circus, and I'm going to have two kids next to me, and I'm going to be on the down filming at the South Bank for a whole week, and it was like really good money, and I said, because I was teaching at TVU at the time, and I'm like, no, I said, I can't do it because I'm teaching, and I was only teaching 2 days, and 2 of those days out of the 5 days. So my son. So I was up north at the time doing a schools kind of tour. Well, it wasn't schools tour, it was a theatre and education tour. And well, by the time I got back to Reading, my son said, "So, you know, how was your week?" I said, "Oh, yeah, they phoned and asked me if I wanted to do a Van Helsing film." And he's like, "Mum, you did say yes, didn't you?" And I went, "No, why?" And he went straight to the internet and showed me this Van Helsing thing. I went, "Oh." I said, "Should I have said yes?" And he goes, "Yes, Mum, you need to phone them back now, and you need to tell them that you're going to do it." But this was like the Wednesday that they called me, and I wasn't back till Monday. So when I told him on the Monday, the Sunday night Monday, so I phoned them first thing Monday, and they said, "Oh, no, sorry, the part's already gone." I went, "Oh, right, okay." So my son said, "Next time, Mum, that you get any parts, phone and ask, and I will tell you." So since then I've been in Mutual Friends and Last Chance Harvey with Dustin Hoffman, and Brad Pitt was in the one that's out at the moment, and I can't think of it. Harry Potter. I've been in Harry Potter.
And you've been in Harry Potter?
Yeah, as an extra in Harry Potter in the what do you call it, in the Ministry.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Hereafter is the Brad Pitt one.
Hereafter.
Hereafter. Okay. So yeah. And Spooks, I've been in Spooks.
Have you?
Mm. And a Tesco's advert.
And a Tesco's advert.
Yeah.
Which one did you enjoy the most?
I don't like film work, so to say, because I like theatre. I love theatre. And I auditioned for my bestest ever film, which was The Harder They Come. They were doing the West End production, the stage production of Harder They Come, and I'd been to watch it at Stratford East, which is my favourite theatre, my most favourite theatre. It's such a community theatre. It was built a few years ago. Jo Littlewood, a lady called Jo Littlewood, started it, and she started out from the community. I mean, everybody pitched in to get this theatre up and going. Didn't really have any money, but everybody helped to get it in. And the way that she paid people, all the cleaners, the lighting, the sound, the directors, whatever money they made on the door, it was shared between everybody equally, because everybody played a part in getting that production on. And that's the kind of thing that I like, is community theatre. There is not one diva, there's not one, do you know what I mean, everybody. Because as an actor, if you're stood on that stage and you don't have any lights, no one are going to see you. Mm. As an actor, if you've got no sound, no one are going to hear you. Right. So as an actor on their own, on a stage, without no lights, sound, stage, props, whatever, you're just going to be a body stood on the stage, you know. So everybody helps to get that that production up and running as a piece, you know.
Okay.
Take any one of those away and you don't have the correct mix, you know. So I do believe in community theatre.
Which leads me to my next question.
What's that?
The question obviously is, do you do theatre? How did that all start? And where did that come from? I'm in shock.
Oh, I can't believe. I mean, a lot of people do see me performing. When I was 10, my dad told me to go for an audition at the Hexagon. And it was a play, it was the Rock Nativity. It was a Christmas play called the Rock Nativity.
Okay.
And it had Anna Love from Godspell, the original Godspell that was on TV. And Mary Hopkins, you know, that lady that sang "Those Were the Days." Well, she was Mary.
Mary Hopkins.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and this was in 1980, and it was just before my 11th birthday. It finished actually on my 11th birthday on 17th of January, and I auditioned for the part. And there was 400 people, and I think it was either 40 or 60 of us got through. And I've never had any training. I hadn't had, you know, I've only done drama at school, and I suppose I always got the lead parts at school. I mean, we've done Midas, and out of all of the guys, Midas is a guy, and I was Midas. You know, I was always the lead part within the plays, regardless of whether they were male or female. I don't know if that's a good thing. But yeah, and I always seem to get the lead parts. But anyway, I went for the audition, and out of the 400 I was picked. And we rehearsed, and all Saturday and Sundays, and then it was a month, you know, performing, and I just loved it from then. And I was working with a guy called Ted Green, who was the choreographer. And I don't know if you know Summer Holiday, you know, Cliff Richard's Summer Holiday.
Yes.
Well, on there's a guy called Ted Green, who was one of the guys that were on the bus and one of the dancers in Summer Holiday.
Okay.
And he went on to direct, well, choreograph. And I suppose I'd love to meet him again one day, because he said to me, when you're on stage, your eyes sparkle, your whole body lights up, but your eyes sparkle. And I was like, wow. And I of course I don't see my eyes sparkle, but he noticed that when I came on stage, and I just thought, wow. And I really enjoyed that. And then from there, I just said, you know what, I want to act, and I want to sing. So I've always acted, and I've always sung, and then I've done community theatre. And to do a degree in community theatre, I didn't even know that was possible, because I've always liked theatre that kind of, you know, makes you sit back and think. I don't like, I'll go to the theatre, I'll watch anything, but if it's straightforward theatre that is, okay, there's two types of theatre. There's like Stanislavski, which is your method theatre acting, your method acting.
Right.
If the play is cast in or set in a front room, you'll have the sofa, you'll have the tea chest, and you'll have the trays, and you'll have the table, and it'll look like a front room.
Right.
And so it places everything, and it'll have wallpaper and doors, and you'll look straight away and see that the set tells you that you're in a front room.
Right.
So that's kind of Stanislavski style of theatre. Okay. And then you've got the Brechtian theatre, which kind of strips the whole of that away. So if it was the same kind of set in a Brechtian theatre, performance, right, it would just have the basics. So it might have a table there, but it won't have any of the decoration. It might say door, it'll have signs saying, outside, or do you know what I mean, sunshine, or pictures of a sun.
Okay. So it's signed up, is it?
Yeah, rather than, you're sat in a front room. So visually, with Stanislavski, you can see, and it's easy, but with Brecht, it's kind of stripped down. The lighting doesn't change. It's usually just plain, stark lighting. Do you know what I mean? It makes people think, okay, you are watching a performance, but you've got to feel that. You've got to imagine that that's where you are by the actors from what they're telling you. So the actors have to work harder within a Brechtian play to place the play. So I prefer that kind of theatre that's not so easy to follow, because it makes you sit and think, rather than Stanislavski style of theatre that does everything for you. It's so predictable. So yeah, so I from a young age, I knew that I wanted to do theatre, and the Rock Nativity kind of did that for me. Yeah, and then years later, after I'd always done community theatre. I'd done my CSE drama, and that's all they did at school. They didn't do O level drama at school, so I'd done my CSE and I got top grade for that.
Right.
And it wasn't. I had my son soon after I left school, so I didn't do much drama, but I did work with John Salesman on Telephone Love. And he did say to me at that time, because I came into the cast quite late, I heard that there was a drama thing going on, and
Right.
I came in quite late and all the parts had been cast. But he cast me as a police officer and actually put a character in that was next to the lead character and the other, there's two kind of female leads.
Right.
And then there was two others, and I was one of those two others that kind of like, hello, yeah, all right then, bye. And he kind of found little lines for us to say, but I was also a police officer. So I came on, looking like a police officer. And I came on and in the strobe light and I was doing all this, stuff. But he said to me back then, and it was only till he reminded me the other day, and he said, yeah, I told you, that when I saw you that I was one day going to get you a lead part. And years later, he actually cast me in a play called The Resurrection of Little Sarah, which was just an amazing, amazing experience. It was, I'd never even heard of Saatchi Bartman before John had brought the script to me. And it was literally just after my dad had died. My dad died in December.
Right.
And John came to see me, must have been the February. And, to be honest, I couldn't even... If a world war had started, I wouldn't have known. My head wasn't there. And he came round one night. Julie, I need to ask you a favour. What's that? I've got this part. Can you read it, and can you, will you be able to do it? It's going up in March or April or May. I can't remember what month it was coming up, but we only had a few months to do it in, and I'm like, I can try, I can sing and I can act, but I can't dance. So I go back to this can't dance thing. So what do you mean you can't dance? And I said, no, I really can't dance. Now, I can dance rubber dub. I can do that all night, but rubber dub on a no, it just doesn't work. When they're doing funky, no, you can't do rubber dub funky. Give me a guy and I will dance all night with him, but I cannot dance. All of the funky. I just can't dance. So he said, well, if you got a dancer, would I do it? And I said, yeah. And I said, I'll do the singing and acting, but I can't. And although I can act and I can sing in front of anybody. To dance, I couldn't. I just feel so. I feel so. Paranoid. Not comfortable with dancing. So I don't. So, but yeah, that's it.
Right. So what else have you done in terms of your acting?
My acting. I've directed.
Have you?
Yes. I directed with the national diplomas, actually. I was teaching at TVU, and I wrote the course for the national diploma, the BTEC national diploma, but I also...
you wrote the course?
Yeah, I wrote the course up for the following year. I wasn't there to do it because I had to go and do other things, but
right.
I actually, wrote the BTEC national diploma. So, you put down what they'll be studying, what their assignments have to be, and, all that, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's excellent.
I done that one summer, so that was nice. But, I had to direct the national diploma, and they done a production of Road. It's a play by Jim Cartwright called The Road, and it's based on this up north. It's a council estate, a really run-down council estate up north, and there's lots of swearing. Now, I don't swear, and when I first looked at I saw a production of it years ago at the Hector, and I thought, this is so good. And the way that they cast it, the way that they said it, they'd had people, it was like a 3-story, so you had people at 3 different levels, and then this bridge thing going across, and the guy that reads through the whole, kind of narrates the whole play, kind of sat, because he looks down at all the people and how they go on in their life, and looking from all the different angles. So you've got people that work in, people on social, people that are thieving, and drinking and smoking, and young people out for a good time and all that. So it just got snippets of all these people in their little flats, on one kind of set. And the first time I was like, what a brilliant play. Now, I'm really one, I don't like swearing, and I don't know why people have to swear. But what I couldn't remember was the swearing within this play. It just did not jump out at me.
Right.
And so when we had to do the play for my degree, when I was doing my degree, it's a play that we had to study, and because I missed a whole semester because my dad died in the last year of my degree,
Right.
I kind of missed a couple of months. So my dad died the December, and I'd started the course the September in my last year, and my dad died the December just before, well, the day we broke up for uni, and then I didn't go back until the March, so I kind of missed like near enough a whole semester.
Right.
So my teacher said, if you want to defer till the following year and do it again, I said no, that's not an option. She said, well, what you can do is do a performance, because there was a young girl who had a baby as well, so she needed to do some work as well. But what the cast done, like the rest of the the degree guys, to get us through, they said that they'd do this play, which was Road. So we actually, sat and studied it, and I played 4 characters within it, 4 really diverse characters, and, we'd done it within a pub, we set it in a pub in Bracknell, and we had a whale of a time. And then when I went on then to start teaching, I thought, oh, let's do Road. So I actually directed the whole piece, and it was,
Wow.
it went on at South Street, and it was just so much fun, I just couldn't believe it. And so that was a real sense of achievement to know that, that I because I directed littlies and, written my own stuff and plays to suit and things like that. But actually taking a play from script, from page to stage, they call it, that was a real sense of achievement. And actually, because when you do it, you have to be the director, you have to be the set designer, you have to do the lights, and you have to do all of that,
Okay.
For the national diploma, because all they are getting marked on is the performance. Do you know what I mean? So you direct them through that, but it's your responsibility to do all the lights and sound, because they can't be taking that on. All they've got to be concentrating on is the acting. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get them through that, and that they all passed it, and they all done really well, and it was taking them. But the swearing in it was just amazing. I just thought, oh my gosh! And when I first started doing it, when I had to do the play myself, my teacher said to me, Julia, when you approach these swear words, can you make them sound natural? Because what I was doing was like saying, oh, if it was going, get down the effing road, I'd be saying, get down the effing road. So it kind of really didn't, do you know what I mean? It didn't sound natural. So I had to walk around my house swearing, and my son's like, Mum, what are you doing? I said, oh, I've got to swear naturally. I've got to make it sound like I know how I'm swearing or know how to swear. And it's not that I know how to swear, but how to make it sound natural. Do you know what I mean? Because I wasn't brought up with swearing. I don't like swearing. I don't like being sworn at. I don't swear at people. So I just don't like that, And my son, when he's listening to music and I hear swear words, turn it off. Mum, can't you get past the swearing? No, I don't want to get past the swearing, because it doesn't need to be swearing in it,
So what's the future for?
Future?
What's the future for
Well, I've just started my band. I finished my album, and I've started my band up, and I'm going to record those duets with Leroy soon. The Sugar Minot tracks are coming out soon, and I've got a few gigs coming up for the band from about March. So I'm just going to be promoting those and getting on with those, and working with some producers in Amsterdam, and Nine The Observer wants to meet me in Jamaica when I go over next. And
In Jamaica?
Nine The Observer, and BB Seaton, who works with Ken Booth and people like that. He wants to work with me too.
You work with BB Seaton?
Yeah, BB Seaton. That man. Spoke to him not long ago. He's in Jamaica. When he comes back, we're going to get together and do something.
Wow.
I don't know if he's back yet.
Okay. Wow. You've done a tremendous amount, haven't you, Julie?
I don't know. It's just kind of like it's all in a day's work, I suppose. It's just what I enjoy doing.
Your whole life. Wow.
And bringing up my son. He's 22. He was fun to bring up. He's a good boy.
He was fun with it.
Oh, it was fun. On his 21st, I said, you can go wherever you want to. And he chose to go to Miami. Now, he wanted to go to Cancun. And I'm glad that he didn't, because the swine flu or whatever that was started just over there at the same time. So I was glad that didn't that he didn't go there. He picked a friend and went to Miami, and I paid for them to go to Miami for his 21st. Yeah, because he was just a pleasure to bring up. You know, I can't. You know, he was. I can't say, you know, how much of a pleasure it was to bring him up. It was the best. If I could have had 10 kids like him, I would have had them. Do you know what I mean? He was just such a pleasure to bring up, you know. And he's doing so well now. He's going off to in the summer. He wants to go travelling, and he wants to end up at some festival in Europe. And I just, you know, I'm so proud of him. He's just done so well, and the police have never knocked my door for him. And you know, he's just doing exactly what he wants to do. He's just having such a fun time. I'm glad.
So, Julie.
Yes. Knowledge.
It's been a pleasure, and I mean it tremendously. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
To interview you, and hopefully, you know, we'll see you out there in the theatre. And
yeah, my next play is at South Street, actually, Noughts and Crosses, on the 1st to the 4th of April, and it's a flip of the script of black and white. So in the case where white people are more dominant in this society, it's putting black people on top and the white people being less dominant.
So what date was that again?
1st to the 4th of April at South Hill Park in Blackburn.
Oh.
And then I'm doing Julius Caesar as well. So.
Julius Caesar as well?
Yeah, I think I'm playing a drunken heroin addict mother or something.
That should
I haven't read the script yet.
You haven't read the
It
script?
would be interesting, yes. I'll bring it on.
Okay. And your new album, when's that due to be released?
Well, the album is, it's going on iTunes in the next week or so. I'm going to get it done properly tomorrow. Right. So in the next 6 weeks, I think it takes 6 weeks, like to go through TuneCore and that. I've got my own record label, so I'm just going to put it through Titus Records.
Titus Records?
Titus Records, yeah.
So we're looking for Titus Records.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be called I Forgot to Say I Love You, because that's the funky style track on there. Might be, not 100% sure. But I have got an EP, a gospel EP, called Organic Fruit.
Organic Fruit?
Organic Fruit. And that goes, because I only eat I prefer to eat organic fruit and trade craft, you know, fair trade stuff. I don't like, I don't see the point in eating food that has no taste. So my friends laugh at me, say, oh, you're always on about organic, always on about organic. But to me, an organic egg is so much better than a regular egg. You know, the battery caged, it's got no flavour, the battery caged, or, you know, what. So I just prefer to eat organic eggs, organic vegetables, organic fruit. I don't eat meat. Fair trade coffee, organic if I can get it. Everything organic, and people laugh at me, but, you know, I prefer it. It's just got so much more taste. So yeah, organic fruit. When I was little, they called me a cauliflower. That was Janelle, bless her. Aqua Levi's. I used to play with Aqua Levi actually in his band. Yeah, I was backing him, and they backed me one time for my own stuff. Yeah, forgot about Aqua, bless him. Yeah, and his sister Janelle used to call me cauliflower and my sister cabbage. So I said to my cousin, because I've used a baby picture on my EP, and I'm like, oh, right, what were you called when you were little? I said, cauliflower. And so I thought, organic vegetables, nah, let's go with organic fruit. Because mango, Julie Mango, my name, Julie Mango, being the sweetest mango in Jamaica. So I thought, yeah, let's go with organic fruit. So that's what it's called.
So that's your gospel?
That's my EP, yeah. That is got 4 gospel tracks on there, which has got the Lindell Lewis track, The Door Is Closed, and 3 others on there, which has got one that I sang with the Reading Community Gospel Choir in.
Okay.
So that's what I'm heading for next, just to really promote the band that's called Soulsation.
What are they called?
Soulsation.
Wow.
It's a reggae band. Lovers rock and reggae. And old school reggae. So the classic songs we're going to be doing. So it's nice. Yeah. Come What May, Tears on My Pillow, Breakfast in Bed, Monkey Man. We're going to do Bob Marley selection, but also interspersed with my tracks as well, which are the tracks I've done in Jamaica, the Sugar Miner tracks, and you know, I primarily write for reggae, but I've just happened to have a funky kind of album, which is a bit It's okay. So there you go. That's it.
That's fantastic. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to Unity Live Radio.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll be following your career.
Thank you.